Well, hello and welcome. Today I have Laurie, my dear friend, and we're connecting with our spirit guides with the highest intention for love and light. And so we get together and talk and paint and explore some feelings. So, Laurie, would you like to lead the group intention and the
Oh,
then
yeah.
we'll breathe in tone, okay?
Okay. All right. So the intention today is to ground into earth, to really experience where we are because we're so lucky we get to be here. And then also connecting to the higher non physical realm, where Tammy gets her codes and we get visions and all that fun stuff. But then to bring them both together into our heart. And from the heart, we can emanate love to this world and everybody that we connect with.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So let's just lean in and just take a deep breath in our heart. Let's breathe in love and light and hold gratitude and then release joy and creativity. Another breath in, hold in the heart and release. Another breath in, hold in the heart and release. So I invite people to tone or sing. Laurie and I will do a little bit of light language. Ina kino oro inala ishe na I utu kata ina ruku keshana.
Ke shikarati I re tiki ira eshe she keti rona alarade e washakuro o se she karada a watakrania a latukuro o so shia kia.
E na I no oro e kashino tu mara inara katu no oro ushina lale ina e mora shineke
Hora atse she karate I turuno o loro o watakara e se e sheki ki ya ani alarade e ke korora a se ye sheki inirare I watakuro o se e ni alarade e watakarade e ti tara a ke.
okay. Okay, that feels good.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. And so I love uh painting with Lori and just talking. And so we were talking this week about the light and the dark a little bit, and you came up with some words. And
Mhm.
so let's see, what was the
Curiosity.
yeah, curiosity is the shield of neutrality. So sometimes, when we're moving through life, we face the critics and the people that are not like us. And so, you know, embracing the idea of oneness, like everyone has access to source, everyone is an expression, and some expressions may be a little bit difficult for us to
Right.
to move through the world neutrally. Like, really, are we taking things personally, or are we just curious about what's going on in life? So I don't know if you want to talk about curiosity a little bit.
Yeah. I, after I had my big breakthrough a few weeks ago, now when I mean, it still triggers me with certain people when they talk about how important it is to keep up on worldviews, to start out your morning with the news, to find out what's been going on with people that and worrying about and getting mad about things that are outside of us, that are reflection, just really just a reflection of how you're feeling inside. And occasionally, I'm talking about the elderly gentleman that's living with me and John. So, and the last time he did that was just a couple of days ago. And I was starting to get a little upset again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did all this work. And I'm like, okay, wait, no, there's something there in it for me. So that's when I became curious, and realizing that I'm reacting to something outside of myself. Well, the picture that I came up with, the whole theme for the emotions were curiosity, tenderness towards self, and surrender. When I was thinking about that, I came up with a lighthouse, because it's kind of taken on as my symbol, a lighthouse of love and light. And a lighthouse doesn't jump into these stormy waters and rescue people, because that's not its purpose. But they don't need rescuing, really.
Yeah. Yeah, let's save everybody. Let's
Right.
jump in. Let's jump in.
So as I was, I'd painted this yesterday, and as I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, okay, what is this actually telling me? Because, the lighthouse is glowing, the storm is brewing all around, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? Storms are actually quite beautiful to observe. Can I just observe the chaos and see the beauty in it? Maybe.
Clever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because, I love storms. It's fun, especially I don't have a porch on this at this house, but I used to love when I was a kid sitting in the garage with my dad, and he'd open the garage doors, get a couple of lawn chairs, get us a drink, maybe some snacks, and we just watch storms roll in, which was just beautiful, watching the changing clouds and then the rain, torrential rain. But we could see the beauty of it. And
Well,
now I
and
think,
that's, yeah, a lot being a lighthouse. So that means that you shine a light and people kind of gravitate towards you too. Or ships come in and they
right,
need to see. And so that feels like it's also like a pillar. It's very tall and structurally sound.
right. And it's very
And
grounded into usually something very secure, because it has to be able to take gale force winds and everything. You don't
uh
often hear of a lighthouse just falling down after a storm.
no, they're hundreds of years old and
Yeah.
they're beautiful. And I've been to many.
Hmm.
And I too, when you sent me that, I was actually, yeah, and I was painting a lighthouse too yesterday,
Oh, were you really?
thinking thinking about how, what a lighthouse means, and being and that's the kind of the message of being a lighthouse is you turn the light on, and but we move into the tenderness towards self. Like perhaps I would fight against or judge people that were in a lower vibration around me in the past and try to pull them along with me. Oh, let's be light, let's be love.
Right.
And I live with someone who's like Oscar the Grouch some days. But he's hilarious. And so anyway, to laugh, like it's really absurd to think that you're not that you don't have both of those things inside of you too. It's like embracing the times when we judge others as being imperfect.
Well,
And
I just usually go back to, where I was and how awful that felt. And I really just want to rescue people from that feeling. It's like,
uh-huh.
I was there. I understand. Just follow me to the light. Like I'm grabbing them. And it's like, well, no, no, wait, it does not work that way.
My way is the only way.
Right?
Yes.
I
It's
have to
it.
save them all. I have to jump in there. But then, if you jump in there, you can't shine your light to everyone. And you have to get into the darkness. And then you're not available. Well, at least for me, I'm not available for the inspiration because diving into that lower vibration, I'm feeling everything at that level then. And I even noticed that, I was not, any higher vibrational thoughts kind of went away. And it's like, no, you're wrong. You're just wrong, wrong, wrong. Like, wait a minute, why am I arguing? Because it's not going to go anywhere. It's just a ridiculous argument about nothing, about perception.
Yeah, yeah. It's the argument is letting go of the argument with what's really there. Like, okay, do you ever feel the emotion of anger or criticism or judgment? Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, jealousy, all these things, rage, it's really allowing yourself to feel whatever you feel like
Mhm.
in the moment. That's, yes, I have feelings that are not exactly positive all the time. And I have feelings that are unique to me. And then so what if somebody wants to be grouchy? Do I have to be grouchy too? No, but I don't have to change them. And what happens when you soften your stance with someone? And my brother-in-law, he's a great example. He is hilarious and he's grouchy. and and it's like, oh, he he makes me laugh. So why would I want to change him? Like, what's not perfect about him saying whatever he wants to say and do whatever he wants to do and just be who he is? So it's like the resistance to the personality, because the personality is there, it's not going away. And these people are in your life, sometimes to bring laughter and silliness. I mean, nothing serious is really going on. We're just making it serious, like, oh my gosh, these people are just out of their mind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to find a more, that tenderness thing towards self, trying to be more kind to myself and realize that seriousness part has been in my life, forever because that's the way I was raised. Everything is serious. Work is serious. Money is serious. Fun is intentional. You just can't have fun anytime. It's in a box. You have to have it over there. The fun is over there, and we'll get to it. So, and yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I get too serious, and that I find, that's when I'm in my head, like,
Right.
oh, I'm looking for a problem to solve, or I'm looking for a reason to feel the way I feel, when it's really just about balancing it. And, taking a few breaths and being in the heart and, you know, feeling okay. The idea that the world is a dark place, think of moon energy and moonlight, like it's illuminated. When the moon comes out, you see, it's kind of watery energy and it just fades away. And
Oh,
and like when the sun comes out and shines, it's we have a lot of storms here, like afternoon heat storms, and the storm will come up, but it washes away the heat. So it's not a like darkness inside of us is not a forever phase to be inside of. It's
oh, right.
actually,
It's contrast too.
yeah.
But you know what I tell myself a lot of times now is that I'll find myself doing that, and I'm like, wait a minute. I spent a lot of time in the darkness studying the lower vibrations. I have the right to experience the higher vibrations of joy. And people now, one of the things I think about in those situations being around negative people or negative situations is that that's just to show me how far I've actually come. That I can, even though memory is a weird thing, I can remember feeling the same way and thinking similar thoughts because, those vibrations all hold similar thoughts. We experience them differently. But I don't have to live there anymore. I know that contrast. Now I can embrace and surrender to joy, to love, even if what I'm surrounded by doesn't look that way or, you know, it's not emanating the same thing. I can keep that just like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's the contrast. That's where I came from. Also, I could experience this love for the world. I don't have to experience the war. I was panicked about the war and everything. Um, you know, and all the awful things that you hear about on the news and people discuss and about people. And, I was heavily involved in those types of conversations too. And I don't need to be anymore. I
Yeah,
can
I
just,
watched the news a
yeah.
lot when I was younger, and but I tended to watch like morning shows and things like that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were a little lighter than regular news, but the news was still there, and it's whatever you put your attention and focus on actually grows.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just kind of kept moving away from it and allowing, I still, oh, there was a plane crash on the way. I went swimming at my brother-in-law's yesterday. And that was so funny. He's like, I said, there was a plane crash. He said, well, my road is not blocked. You can come on and swim.
Oh my
So,
gosh, really?
yeah, yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Like, that's what I mean is you can't always go by what you see and hear. It's an experience. So they live on a country road and this plane crashed nearby. So
Wow.
um I was planning to go out there and go for a swim because they don't live that far from me. So this occurred on the same road they live on, but it was west of them and they live east. But that's what I mean. On Facebook they put, oh, you can't drive down these roads. Well, it's a big highway, so which road, where was it? So we were texting and he was like, I wasn't at home, but he got all kind of messages. He was driving around and um, so the news is partial, is incomplete unless you're there. And, it is based in fear. It is it is not always completely accurate. And you can't go by Facebook at all because it's all opinionated.
Right, right.
could be could be totally inaccurate or fake, even fake.
Oh, I know.
Fake news.
Or, yeah, fake news. Eh. News is boring. Ugh. I just, it's, how can you make enough money off of a fraction of a story?
Yeah. Yeah. Fraction of a story. That's kind of cool way to look at it. The
Oh yeah, because I watch I like watching YouTube video logs. So one of them is Matt and Julia. He's from the UK and she's from Russia. A very cute couple. They're in their 30s, and they travel. So that's their life. They travel. They have an apartment. They move every few years, but they live in an apartment, and they usually aren't there most of the time because they're traveling. But I don't know if they're. I don't even know. They're in some country I don't normally hear about. Eastern Europe, somewhere. um, they go to these countries where Americans may or may not go to. Like they went to North Korea, and they said, well, one of the things they said, digress here for a second, they could never get it. They would never be able to get a visa to get into the United States because of all the places they've gone to. Although he was in Los Angeles in 2019. But
it's funny they can't get in the US.
I know. Yeah, their passports aren't very US friendly.
That's
But they just go and see how, like compare big cities to small cities. They talk a lot about safety, and but also just meeting the people. And it's interesting. They were able to record in North Korea, which I was thinking, though, there's no way they're going to be able to record anything, and they actually did. They also said that they won't share a lot of their personal opinions. Maybe later on in a book when they're done with all this traveling stuff, but they do have personal opinions, but they do a very good job of just being neutral. But they, was it, yeah, I just love that they'll go into these places where the news is really bad, how like awful it is, and shine where they, well, no, there's nothing. These people are just living their lives.
Yeah,
There's
that's what's
like,
so funny is
yeah,
you you'll go to a country, and I've been to Egypt, and people are like, you can't go there. People in the US, they might have an idea if they're watching the news that certain types of cultures are very scary. It was really a beautiful country and I had a very nice experience and I had no problems at all while I was there.
that's
Yeah. And then, even like traveling around the US, I was traveling around in 2020 and there were riots in a couple of countries and people were telling me, watching the news, don't go there, don't go there, don't go here. And I would drive through it and literally there would be nothing there, nothing going on. And, they would be watching news feeds that were weeks old and months old or even years old at times. And,
oh right, or the same shot, the same. shot over and over, and this is how awful it is. And they'll keep showing the same thing. And it's like, well, what about the other 99.9999% of that area? What's going on there?
Yeah. It's like this is not really representative of this country. One event in one city is not representation of the entire city. And that's just it. Whether it's a riot, yeah, because I think it was St. Louis I went through that had just had a riot, and my sister was like, "Don't stop there." And I wanted to stop and stay there when I was driving around, and I was like, "Huh? What? Like why? Why?" And then I
I
drive
know.
through, there's nothing happening,
No, I
you
have
know.
friends that live in that area, and I lived in that area too. And, unless they say something, I know that there's only one area any rioting going on, and it's not near my friends, or else they would be telling me about it.
Well, that was in 2020, so I'm
Yeah,
saying I was
yeah.
driving through it.
Oh,
But
right. Yeah.
but I've driven through Savannah where there was a riot. There was a
Oh,
riot.
there was a riot. Okay.
Yeah, and there was nothing going on. And people just assume that what they see on the news is happening. It's like they bring it into the now. And that's why I stopped watching it. And I feel like it's I feel like it's kind of interesting that this fear can create something that lasts for years or even,
Mm-hmm.
about a particular place or about and we do that with our fear, and that I'll call it the shadow. So if you have an experience, it's very difficult, and you put a lot of meaning around it, and it feels uncomfortable. This fear feels uncomfortable. And then instead of saying, "Oh, this happened in the past," um,
Right.
I'm I'm gonna lean into this, and I'm gonna see, maybe you're inspired to go to a place, but it has significance to you, or maybe you're inspired to, it doesn't have to be travel. It could be to revisit a, a friend that you had a long time ago, and you're thinking, oh, they're so negative. I can't really spend time with this friend. Um, you
That's
could
funny you
revisit.
mentioned that. I have a couple friends from college, and 2 years ago, I got together with them, and oh my gosh, it was so negative, and that was 2 years ago. And already I could see that drastic change where I was. And I'm like, I don't know if I can spend time with them. So one of them reached out again. So you want to get together? We can go to this place. We can do pottery or glass work. And I'm like, that sounds like fun, but oh my gosh, do I want to be around that? And I'm like, I felt a little push from behind saying, it's an experience. I'm like, okay, sure, I'm in. So that's coming up in August. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we apply a negative meaning to a person, conflict. I know I'm excellent at avoiding conflict. Um, but at the same time, like sometimes conflict is necessary, or contrast. And
Contrast.
we
I
call
think
it a
that's a better,
manifestation of
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
it's actually contrast, and we're shown the contrast so we can release our fears. It's not them that's it's not them that's the problem. It's how I'm judging their behavior and not accepting them, because no one outside me is really creating this conflict within myself. I am
Right.
100% responsible for my emotions and feelings, and this is the truth. And so if I'm avoiding someone because I've avoided people that were very negative in my, I'm just a light worker. I'm going to be light, and I'm not going to hang around with those people.
Yeah, if we're light workers, aren't we supposed to be around people that need a little sunshine?
Yes. There you go. You got it. That was the real meaning behind us exploring um the light and the dark this week.
Right. Well, okay, and bring that the location, traveling, and that with people too, because sometimes we get stuck viewing their newsreel of what's bad. And I'm wondering if, well, now I'm just curious. How can I play with that? When someone gets caught in that loop, well, I guess it's just keeping your vibration high and waiting for inspiration, or playing. Oh, maybe leaning into the heart more, shining, just having fun. Oh my gosh, just having fun. How much fun can you have just like starting to feel more love in your heart and just beaming it out once people start getting into that loop of, oh my gosh, the news, the politics, wars, and everything. When you're face to face with someone, I think especially with someone that you know, just start beaming more love to yourself, tenderness towards yourself, and being curious about what happens. Because it is reflections, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the experience that I have is if I really just take a deep breath, breathe in my heart, that density just kind of drifts away. It kind of just falls away when I surrender to what's actually happening, because everything is love, even density, even,
right.
living in
You know,
life inside what's happening, because everything is actually happening for us. And then perhaps asking the question, okay, why is this happening? And shifting the perspective. A more grounded approach would be, oh, is there anything I can help you with? Or inspiration, but not to actually.
right. Well, I've seen a couple things on this when talking with people like that. So, what is your intention by expressing this? Just because it's a habit? I mean, that almost seems passive aggressive when you're up against someone who's really negative. It's like, so what's your intention in this conversation? I don't know. But
they're
it's
just
curious. What is their
expressing
intention?
they're expressing a perspective and an opinion,
Right.
and
To shine
they're
contrast on a situation, maybe.
they're showing contrast, yeah, and showing us that there's more than one approach to life.
Right. Yeah. I'm, well, going back to this, how to stay, um, keep shining amidst all the, um, what looks like chaos around us, and to see it just as beautiful contrast.
Yeah, chaos. Yeah, yeah. I know we have hurricanes here, and they come and they blow away, and they're very contrasting. Or an afternoon shower, it might change the way you view it. you know,
Mm-hmm.
if I look at life with the eyes of purity, understanding that, that like people that complain are just releasing emotions and feelings around us, and that, people that express their opinion just want to be seen and heard. And
Right.
so,
They want to, yeah, like my limiting belief a few weeks ago, I don't matter, which if I put that in the context of who I'm talking to, do they feel like they don't matter? Or is there another limiting belief under there? Or is it purely just for me for contrast or to find I'm ready to release? Well, I guess it depends on how I feel about what I'm experiencing. Curiosity. Yeah, curiosity.
curiosity. Yeah. Yeah. I try to surrender and allow their personalities to come out, because like my family, they have lots of different personalities. Some are light and easy to be around, and some are more aggressive, and,
Mm-hmm.
that's their nature. And understanding that we need all these different perspectives to see life in a new way. Each time I have a conversation with somebody, each time, I often inspire people because I'll ask them a question like, "Oh, that's interesting. Have you considered another perspective?" And
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, not not to challenge them on their beliefs, and they'll see them whenever they're ready, but just kind of letting go of the idea that everyone out there needs to change so I can feel safe in the world. So if I'm looking out of a lighthouse and wanting all of the people in my life to change, really what I need to do is go inside and see where I have some fear about the world being a dangerous place, when in essence my world is very safe. It's very
Right,
calm,
I know. Yeah,
it's
my
very
world is very safe.
beautiful. It's
Yep.
not the way that I see it, so, maybe asking an inspiring question, um you know maybe gently sharing an idea, or even just breathing with people, and
Mm-hmm.
your your presence does all the work. Maybe smiling. Or sometimes I really offer a silly joke. Um, Laughter, laughter is like
Right,
one of the best medicines, because the truth is that, we're all of us are perfect. And
right. And we're all here just for different purposes, different experiences, all to expand. Um, and really, it's could be that curiosity here. Could people
it's
be
true.
here? Some people be here to experience darkness just because in non physical there isn't a lot of darkness out there?
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah.
Lots of people do lots of things I'm not interested in at all. I don't want
Right.
to. Yeah. And that's just it. So your experience is designed perfectly for you, and theirs is designed perfectly for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all perfectly orchestrated. And that's the thing, maybe we're excited about ETs, but some people are deeply afraid of ETs. So, I love to explore magic and mystery, and some people think it's, darkness. So whatever, it doesn't matter what it is that you like to explore. You can make it scary or you can make it soft. And, it's like surrendering to what's actually happening, embodying your truth, because that's really all you're here to do is just be you. And that's, we're these great spiritual people, and we've expanded out into the universe, and we're going to be this we're going to just do all this big stuff. And that sounds kind of scary to me. But anyway,
I know. Well, I want that, but I don't want it. I'm like, ah.
oh, yeah, here's my
Wait,
next
do I
painting.
want it? I want to
Oh,
be out there. I want everybody to know me, but I don't want everybody to know me because I don't want, that's like too scary.
the truth is, I want to be invisible and seen and heard. How do I
Yes.
do this?
I know. Hmm.
That's a magical path. We will continue to explore it, but
Right. Okay.
I think it's funny, and I guess I'll show you these. I was just making some colors. Let's see if it'll show through. I don't guess it will. I have to
Oh,
turn
no.
off my thing. Oh,
Oh, there we
anyway,
go. Okay.
so there was mine. It was kind of a stormy lighthouse, and then
Hmm.
I was playing with the another one. How to say my face.
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, it's like I was just playing with colors, and I put my face on something dark, a dark background. I was playing with emotions this week. What does this feel like? Does it feel expansive, or and and you know, embracing fear is part of the journey, and embracing those people in your life that kind of bring up those challenges and contrast. So, all right.
Right. All right.
All right. All right. All
Oh,
right.
these conversations are never long enough.
I know. Okay.
All right.
I love you.
I
Thank
love
you
you.
for showing up for me, and sharing your lighthouse. Because
Oh, I love sharing my light with your light, Tammy.
I
All right. You have a great week.